Hey folks, it's PJ from Wisconsin Airgunners. It is Wednesday, which is registration day for RMAC, and the range is open this afternoon for us to do some sight-in and get final dope set for competition, which starts tomorrow morning. So walking out to the 100-yard target where I've been doing some shooting with my impact. Actually, I was shooting both the M3 and the Mark II. I'll have to say I'm feeling pretty good about how things are going. I have no question about the gun. We'll see how we're able to read the wind, because that's really part of it. So I'm heading out past now the 100-yard target. There's a berm here at 125, and then they've got targets up right along the mountainside here. If you kind of take the panoramic view of the range, you got the berm that's backed up by a mountain, and then one of the lines of benches is right back here. It's about 110 yards from where I am. And then from the bench, it doesn't really look that much farther. But this up here, that's about 200. In fact, if you look at this area right there and along here, that's actually about 200 yards away from where we're going to be shooting. So for the slug competition, for the small bore, last time it was over on this range and you were taking shots at stuff up in the woods there. So I got to get the Maverick set up with the 22 caliber slugs, and my goal is to be able to hit a plate at 200 yards. So we'll see how that works out. Out at Rocky Mountain Airgun Challenge, putting the Nomad to good use, filling up the Mark II impact. Gonna throw a 250 bar in there. Shouldn't take but a couple minutes. The Utah Airguns crew had plenty of air on site, but you know me, I like to be independent about these things, and it was just easier to go over to the Subaru for a refill off the Nomad than it was to truck the tanks around to get them refilled. So for the day, we and a couple other people pulled air off the Nomad. A big shout out and thank you to Pyramid Air for the loan of that unit over the course of the summer. It's worked out great for us. While I'm on the subject of thankfulness, I have to give a shout out to my friends at TI Training and TI Outdoors, who very generously helped me with ammunition costs this year, as well as hooking me up with a sweet air tank so that while I'm on the bench, I don't have to call somebody over for a refill. They've been hugely supportive of my efforts, and I greatly appreciate it. It doesn't get much better than having a day you can devote just to shooting and dialing things in, and that's exactly what we got. The weather was perfect, and a little bit later in the afternoon, the wind actually wasn't too bad, so that you could really get your dope squared away and make final adjustments on the rifles. The rest of our day was spent hanging out and talking to people, old friends and new friends, and I'll give you a little taste of some of the folks that we ran into here. we shooting, Ken?
It's HM 1000X 25 caliber raw.
How fast?
It shoots a 37 grain slug at 930 feet per second. Griffin ammunition.
Nice.
Basically, it's a pellet base, but a lot heavier than a hybrid. He makes them all the way up to 40 plus grain.
Ron, say hi to everybody. This is the $1 million baby, huh, is he?
Hopefully.
That's hitting you on the target.
This is so convenient.
So doing a little work on the dope on the Mark II, and 30 cal pellets just hit 200-yard target. I was shooting for the center of a bigger silhouette 3 times in a row at 200 yards. So officially, if I don't do well with this gun, it's absolutely my fault. Or it's John's fault. I don't know.
It could be I might have gotten a hold of it and messed it up for him. I may or may not be willing to do such things.
Yeah, he's threatening to mess it up. So, all right, got a little more fun shooting to do here. The final task for the day was to make sure I got checked in and get the time slots for all of the various events that I was registered to shoot in. You're organized into relays for the 100-yard bench rest, and then to shooter groups for the slug challenge, precision rifle course, and speed challenge. If you don't have your stuff sorted out, you're not going to show up at the right time for the right event, and basically you're a great big drag on everything. So once we had that, it was time to make a couple of final looks at the wind and then head out to get ready for competition the next morning. An event like this doesn't just happen. It's the result of hundreds of hours, dedication, and a lot of support. You'll see in this video a rundown of a number of the banners that were on display. All of these companies contributed significantly to the success of the event, either in terms of financial support, prize money, raffle prizes, you name it. These folks were laying it on the line and making sure that we had a fantastic time. The Utah Airguns crew was ever present and always willing and able to assist with any questions that you had. Once we left the range, it was time to acquire some dinner and then go through our dope charts for the next morning's competition, which was the small bore slug challenge, and then get our gear ready for the opening round, round 1 of the 100-yard bench rest competition. Until the next video, shoot safe, shoot straight, and we'll see you around.